Hi everyone. Just opening up to let other people join quickly. Give me a second. Seeing some old faces. Nice to see you all. Okay. All right, so I've just what I've noticed in previous webinars is that if everyone's mic is open, then any kind of noises that you make can distort distort the video. So I've put everyone on mute. If there are any questions that you want to ask, just use the or anything you want to say, just use the chat part of the program. Okay, let's hopefully this is okay. Hold on a second, just letting in a few more people. All right. So thank you all for joining me today. I'd originally offered this as an opportunity for me to connect with the online community that I've started. But this morning I was guided to open it up and share the information that was being given to me about this time with everyone who was interested to join. As I'm sure most of you know, yesterday was the 4th of the 4th, and 2020 being a number 4 as well, we have a 444, what they call Stargate or portal opening. This portal will be open until the 22nd of April. So we have 3 dates where this energy will be heightened. The first date obviously was yesterday with the 4th of the 4th. The second date will be the 13th of the 4th. And the final date will be the 22nd. It is what this portal does is open up a space for a massive download of cosmic energies to enter into the planet and therefore into us. And if we look at these 3 specific dates, the energies are moving into our physical self, our mental self, and our emotional self. And the purpose of these energies is to purify and cleanse us on those levels, helping to open us more to a more spiritual level, as well as bringing in new inspiration, new insights, and new ideas that we can start to work with in order to start creating our world or creating our new world. The time that we're in right now is a profound and powerful opportunity for all of us to really shift our perspective and to start to look at what is really important in our world and in our lives and in ourselves. I sat quietly before we started, just tapping into the energies of this time, and specifically right now as we are sitting in this opening of this 444 Stargate. And you know, with it being a lockdown for many of us and we're all being stuck at home, it is a perfect opportunity for us to take time out from our normal usual routines and our usual rhythms to be able to kind of shake things up. It is an opportunity for us to look at where in ourselves there are things that need to be shifted, where in ourselves there are things that need to be transformed, and again in our lives. If I'm looking at on an unconscious level, if we do not take this time to reassess and we do not take this time to really look at our lives and what it is that we're doing, it will be taken from us. You know, it's not like we actually have a choice here to work with the energies or not. If you work with the energies, you're enabling yourself to feel empowered, to feel, to step into a more positive space of being able to work with what needs to be changed and what needs to be shifted. If you choose not to, whatever is deemed unnecessary in yourself and in your life will be removed from you. And I know from personal experience of having resisted things that I knew I needed to work through, things I needed to release, things I needed to shift, the carpet just gets pulled out from underneath us, and we stand there going, why is this happening to me? Meantime, we've had all the signs and all this, the insights and all the guidance being given to us. So we really are in this time where it is very, very powerful. And I can't stress enough that it is so important that we work with what is coming up for us as individuals. Where are the places in you that are afraid? Where are the places in you that are uncomfortable? Where are the places in you that are feeling negative or seeing negative? So, our shift in perception is also required. We need to start looking at how do we bring new life, new energy, new inspiration, new ideas and new creativity into our lives? How do we start to reform and readdress the things that are no longer working in us individually, but also in our lives, and then ultimately collectively? And we have to start with us. We've been forced into the space of isolation. In that space of isolation, if we work with it, we are able to start unpacking whatever it is that needs to change. The other thing that has come through quite strongly for me has been this need for us to reconnect with nature. I have kind of in my daily inspirations, and the people that know me and work with me on a regular basis will know that this is one of my one of the things that I'm very passionate about, is this need for us to reconnect with nature. A lot of the issues that we face in ourselves and in our lives and in our world is because we have disconnected from nature. We've disconnected from the earth, we've disconnected from the water, we've disconnected from the air. And we've allowed, and because of that, we have allowed the pollution to happen. We have allowed the destruction of the planet to occur. And I really don't believe that we as humanity have the power to destroy the earth. I don't think we do. I think the earth is far more powerful than us, and we will never be allowed to destroy her. She is far too important. I think we will destroy ourselves, and we will destroy our own environment, and therefore not be able to live on the planet any longer. And I think we are really at that crucial time now where it is time for us to start changing. It is time for us to find a way to reweave ourselves back into nature. Because if we look at nature and how disconnected we are, I keep looking outside and seeing the world continuing, or the earth continuing without us. And I see how there seem to be far more birds around. I'm seeing we've got quite a lot of wildlife around us living on a mountain, and I can see the wildlife is just having a ball. There's, the squirrels are going mad. There've been mongoose that have been chasing themselves up to the back of my garden, which is, I've seen them, but very rarely. And I'm watching all of this continue without us even being a participant in it. It's almost like nature just works around us all. We are not part of it. And for me, I find that quite distressing. And I've been sitting with that in myself and thinking, well, how do I make myself relevant to nature again? What is my role that I have to play in supporting the earth and reconnecting to her? I haven't got an answer yet. I will share that when I do. But I think that these are the things that we need to start looking at. And if we can take this time, with the Stargate being open from yesterday until the 22nd of the month, if we can take that time to really start to look at ourselves and look at what needs to shift and change in us, what needs to be released in us on a physical, emotional, and mental level, then we can do some great work. If we look at on a physical level, we can look at our lives. I mean, our lives are cluttered with stuff. A lot of us have more than what we need. Some of this time I'm certainly using to kind of clear out things and and throw things away or give things away that I no longer need or use. On an emotional level, we can look at what are the emotions that we are needing to release and let go of. What are the things that keep us stuck in old patterns, that keep us stuck in old connections, that keep us stuck in old programs that are no longer relevant? What are those emotions? And why are we remaining stuck in that emotional space? On a mental level, what are the thoughts? How does our thinking need to evolve? How does our thinking need to change? What are the new ideas that we need to bring into our lives that can help us to find new inspiration, new creativity? We need to start thinking creatively. We need to start accessing a different side of our creativity so that we can start to work in our lives and in the world in a different way. And I recognize and I realize that this is a really, really fearful time for a lot of people. I have gotten emails from people who, whose entire lives are falling apart. Their whole world seems to be ending. And yet they can't see the beauty in that, and they can't see beyond that actually this world of theirs is ending, but something else is being brought in to replace it, that there's a new earth that is being birthed. And, the more we can start to look at our lives from that perspective and to not lose hope, to see the positive in the situation, to choose what it is that shift our perspective so that we can see what the benefits are of this time. It is so, so, so important. I can't say that enough. And the other thing, with reconnecting ourselves back into with nature, is that in order to do that, we have to re-look at ourselves in a way that, where am I out of balance in myself? So if we look at ourselves energetically, we've got 4 bodies. We've got an emotional body, we've got a mental body, we've got a physical body, and we've got a spiritual body. Where in ourselves are those 4 bodies out of balance and out of alignment? We need to start looking at that and realigning ourselves on that level. Then we've also got to look at the masculine and feminine aspects of ourselves. Where in the masculine and feminine aspects of ourselves are we out of balance? Those 2 energies need to be in balance in order for us to start working from a more stable space within ourselves, a more centered space within ourselves. We need to start looking at what are the tools that I need to start bringing into my life to start initiating and creating that new balance within me. How do I access my masculine self? How do I access my feminine self? And how do I start working with the 2 of them together? And when we start working on those levels, we can start to access a deeper wisdom that sits within us, a deeper soul wisdom that sits within us. And I know, the majority of you are all on my mailing list and get my daily inspirations. And I bang on about how we need to be accessing our soul, how we need to be working with the wisdom and truth that our soul carries. But for most of us, we don't know how to access that part of ourselves. We don't even know, we're so disconnected from it that we don't even know how to find our way back to it. And this again, you need to explore that for yourself. A lot of the questions that I get from people is, well, it's all very well saying, you need to reconnect with your soul, but how do I do that? And part of it is this cleansing and purification process that we go through, and that we're now being almost forced to go through in this time in April. This purification is clearing, I suppose, the blockages that have been keeping us stuck and keeping us from being able to access our soul. So on a physical level, we do need to purify our bodies. We do need to work with our bodies so that we're not carrying energetic debris in our bodies. And that energetic debris can be from emotions, it can be thoughts, and it can be from food. So we do need to work with our bodies. Our body does go through a natural detox process all on its own. We need to support ourselves through those processes, and being connected and aware of our physical self, we start to recognize when the body is going through that detox. That's on the one level. On an emotional level, we need to detox ourselves and cleanse ourselves of the negative emotions and negative feelings that are keeping us stuck. On a mental level, detox ourselves from those negative patterns and thoughts that keep us stuck in a particular way of thinking. And as we detox on those levels, so we remove the barriers that cloud the soul energy and the wisdom and truth that our soul contains. And the easier it is to tap into our intuition, and the easier it is to hear that quiet voice in us that guides us every single day. And the more we do that, the louder that voice becomes. In the beginning, you can barely hear it, but eventually it becomes a voice that you can actually clearly hear, guiding you every step of the way, that guides you from the moment you open your eyes until, and in your dreams. And that is the voice of the inspiration. That is the voice that will give us the clues, that will give us the creativity, that will give us the inspiration that we need to be able to recreate our lives and recreate our world. I don't know how any of you are feeling today, but I certainly am feeling a little bit like I have an energetic hangover this morning. I did a beautiful meditation with Elizabeth Rose yesterday. I see she's online here. And yeah, I felt wonderful afterwards, and woke up today and have felt like I've got a hangover. And so for me, there's definitely a clearing or a detox that's happening. So I've been trying to work with myself to be able to help that along. And one of the things that I did this morning was an energetic clearing and cleansing meditation to kind of help to clear out whatever's sitting in my energy field and causing the hangover. And I think it's, a lot of focus was put on yesterday being the 4th of the 4th. There was also that global meditation that happened. I had all the good intentions of connecting at 4 o'clock this morning. I woke up, kind of went, okay, I'll do it, and just turned over and went straight back to sleep. So I didn't do it. But I could definitely feel it was very busy. Very, very busy last night, and I didn't sleep very well as a result. So I thought what I do with you guys today is just share with you the meditation that I've been doing to kind of work to clear and realign my energy field. And it's something that you can kind of practice on your own. It's not a very hard or difficult meditation. It's very easy actually and very simple, but yet it's very profound. So if anyone's got any questions, now's the time to ask. Okay.
I have a, sorry.
Can we record it? Yes, it will be recorded.
Okay. Can I ask a question? Can you hear me?
I can, Anita, thanks.
Okay, sorry. When you were speaking now about connecting to your soul and how a lot of people say to you, how do I actually do that? It is something that I mean, just recently, those listening won't know, but I mean, as you said, I've been told to connect to my most ancient self, which is everything in my soul. When I try and do it now, it's almost like I'm caught between trying to think like my soul, or trying to just be in my heart space and feel like my soul, and try and not use words in that moment, even in my mind, to try and go between the words. Do either of those make more sense, or is it just kind of going to be one thing sometimes and another thing other times? Or do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that there are, obviously there are different ways of being able to connect to that soul energy or that soul essence. And I think you've got to find the way that works for you. We also need to take into consideration that every day is different. The energy of that day is different. you are different in that day. So something that worked yesterday is not necessarily going to work today. That doesn't mean that it's not going to work next week. So I think it's almost, we need to assess ourselves each day. Where is my energy? What is it today that I need? Like today I needed that energetic cleansing process, because that on an energetic level, that's what I felt I needed. Even on a physical level, that's what I felt I needed. Tomorrow, it may be another completely different thing that I need to do, where I need to go for, well, I wish I could go for a walk, go and sit outside and, sit in the sun, or sit outside in the evening sky and connect in that way. Just sit in stillness and kind of feel that peace. I think we have to find different ways, and we all have our unique ways of connection. And I don't think one is the way or the only way or the right way. I think for all of us, we've got to find what works. And, we're living in a time where, there is so much available to us, especially now. There are loads of online free meditations. There are yoga classes going on. This is fantastic for all of that stuff, to be able to explore all the different ways of connecting with yourself and then choose what works for you. I always talk about having a toolbox, and how important it is for us to have that toolbox that we can dip into with every day. This is what I need today. I certainly don't meditate every day, certainly not in the conventional sense. I find it really hard to sit still and quieten my mind. But I will go through periods where I'll meditate every single day and I'll feel really pleased with myself. And then that might last for a month or two, and then that's it. I can't meditate. I irritate myself. I can't sit still. My mind is going. So then I find a different way. So then it might be going for a walk. It might be painting. It might be knitting. I find whatever it is that I can do that keeps me still, still in myself. I might be active on the outside, but there's, painting or knitting or crocheting or something like that often gets me into that still space when I can't meditate. So you've got to find what works for you and work with where you are at, rather than thinking there's a particular way. Because if you do that, if you lock yourself into this particular way that you think is the right way, when you can't do it, then you're going to beat yourself up. Then you're going to feel like you're doing something wrong. And that goes completely against where we are right now. We have to allow ourselves to flow with what is coming up for us, where we are and how we are feeling. We can no longer limit ourselves to a particular way or a particular path or a particular practice. Use them all and find what works for you.
Coming out of that, can I ask one more thing, or is there not time?
No,
in terms of what you're talking about, that thing of things that are coming up and being okay with it, the whole thing of, you talk about it and so many people talk about it, needing to see the positive and needing to look towards the new reality rather than the old and all of that. And there are days when I really don't feel good for whatever reason. I might have been triggered, like whatever, yesterday or the day before, I was triggered very badly by something specific. It took me into a very dark space. Of course, I've dealt with it. But at the time, I did start beating myself up a little bit, because I was feeling like, well, surely to be part of the new reality, even though I kind of know better, but sometimes I still question it, to be part of that new reality, to be on the path towards it, do I not need to be feeling kind of quite positive, like most of the time? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not necessarily feeling positive, happy most of the time right now. There are moments, but it's not like a constant, or a majority, put it that way.
But I think it's really difficult to feel that positivity all the time. I think that there is so much going on and so much coming up in us in order for that to be released and cleared, that to expect yourself to stay positive all the time is almost unrealistic.
Or even most of the time, like
even most of the time. If we look at the period that we're going into now, this time in April with this 444 portal opening, you know, it's going to be triggering all of that in us that needs to be cleared and released. It does mean we're probably going to feel pretty shit most of the time.
Yeah, okay. So that's fine. Yeah.
You know, but work with that. Don't stay in that space.
I always work.
I know you do, but I'm just saying that for the benefit of everyone else. It's you know, you work with those emotions, work with that feeling, work with that negativity, rather than kind of suppressing it because, oh, I should be feeling positive. You know, this is the birth of the new earth, and I need to be feeling. You know, I need to be focusing only on the light. You know, we all have shadow. We all have you know, darkness sitting within us, and I think that, you know, we've got to look at that. We've got to face it, and we've got to allow ourselves the time to process it and let it go and to release it. So yeah, really, please don't make yourself feel like you've got to be positive all the time. That's just too hard. Okay. Certainly at this time.
Thank you.
And Nancy, Nancy's written here, she says she likes to think of it as fine tuning. I think that's exactly it. You know, we're fine tuning ourselves. We're fine tuning the connection that we have to ourselves and to our soul. So, you know, in that fine tuning, we need to let go of all the stuff that's in the way.
Yep.
And then Bronwyn. Yep, hangover, you've been sleeping, haven't stopped sleeping. Well, yeah, I've been sleeping quite a lot today myself. I hope that the meditation process that I'll do with you now is gonna help that. It certainly helped me feel quite a lot better. And then Pat, yeah. Yes, I like that. The detached, compassionate observer. That is great. That is exactly where we are needing to be. You know, learning to accept where we're at, learning to accept our feelings, to learn to accept our own limitations. And I think when we can accept those parts of ourselves that are not necessarily good, positive, you know, we can look at them. And we can accept them, and we can welcome the opportunity to reintegrate those parts back into ourselves, and therefore bring about healing. Then you are on that path to feeling positive all the time. Yeah. And Pat's just written, she says, it gets her out of survival, fight, flight, or freeze, so she can hear what is. Yeah, I agree. I think that that a lot of us have been in survival mode, you know, because of the world that we've been born into. Sometimes it's because of the families that we're born into, and the dynamic that existed there has triggered that survival mode. And, you know, we do need to come out of it. But in order to come out of survival, you've got to kind of look at what's keeping you trapped there. I think that you know, that's also important. And often what keeps us trapped there is old thoughts, old feelings, old emotions. That kind of old energy keeps us stuck in survival, and we've got to release it in order to get out of survival and into the space of being able to thrive. And I know that feels a little weird at the moment, because the entire world is the you know, the social media and the news and everything is saying survival. You've just got to survive this time. And actually, you know, no, we don't. We need to learn to thrive in this time. The world has always been in chaos. Always, we're just seeing it now. You know, it's become obvious, and no one can actually miss it now. Okay, so yeah, some of the qualities of this new energy that's coming in. I've also been having the hummingbirds visit me. It's lovely. And when I see the hummingbirds, it's always a reminder of joy, and what joy brings. You know, joy brings a sense of I don't know, excitement and hope. And I think that's important. Yeah. A lot of us are also clearing the collective energy. Yes, we are. Hence the energetic hangover this morning. Oh, that's good. Transformation. Yeah, transformation. That's powerful. Black cats. Yeah, transformation. Lots of transformation there. And I think it's also, you know, the energy of cats and how they are able to magically transmute energy. You know, they're great to have around. And I think that if we are seeing them, you know, for me, black is a powerful color in the sense that it is being able to access that void. And maybe for you, what it is the energy of that void is whatever's been blocking the space, the entry point of it is being released and cleared so that you can access it in a different way. And for those who don't know, the void isn't necessarily a space, a bad space. It's a space of pure potential. And you know, to be able to enter into the void means that you enter into a space where creation takes place, and in that space we have everything. It's a space of nothing and everything. A bit of a contradiction, but it's a very positive space. Any other questions? Yeah, I think we need to clear this energetic debris of yesterday. I can actually feel it starting to build all around me, so I think it's time. So if you can all just find a comfortable seat. If you want to lie down, as long as you can still hear me, lie down. I don't mind. Okay. I'll just give you a moment to settle. Oh, I like that quote. Thanks, Brenda. If you look at zero, you see nothing. When you look through it, you see everything. Einstein. Yeah, and there are a lot of people feeling anxiety over this time and feeling anxious about what's next. And I think what we need to do is focus on what is today, what is coming up today, and do our best not to try and project ourselves into the future. I don't think anyone really knows where we're going or how this is going to unfold. I think this is the first time, certainly in human living history, that this is happening. And I think you've got to trust that you are here at this time for a specific reason and a specific purpose. We have chosen this time to be here, and it is important that we recognize that there is a purpose, a greater purpose for us being here, and trust that. And trust that even if you don't consciously know where you're going and what you are consciously meant to be doing in the next phase, just trust that you're being guided. I know that's not very helpful because a lot of people want specifics, and this is the next step that I need to take. And they are, at the moment, they aren't. You just need to live through each day. So that sense of being present in the moment is what is important. And if you have anxiety around the future and you have anxiety around your next steps, make time to sit quietly with yourself and really feel into what is at the bottom of that anxiety. Is it actually your anxiety, or is it a collective anxiety that you've kind of got sucked into? because it is important to recognize that too. We do get sucked into the fear and negativity that exists in the collective. And there are times where we actively have to do something to step out of that. So really feel into that anxiety and see what is sitting in it. Why do you feel anxious about the future? Why do you feel anxious about your next steps? And why do you feel like you need to know what those next steps are? Those are the kind of questions you need to start asking yourself. I hope that helps. Okay, so when you're ready, settling into your body. I wish I had some music to play. All right. And just taking a couple of deep breaths. And just letting go of any fears, any worries, any concerns that you have right now. Just let them all go for this moment. And just settle into the peace. Allow yourself to relax into this time. To relax into this moment of being held. And then draw your awareness down to your feet. And feel the connection that you have to the earth through your feet. As you feel that connection, allow a wave of energy to move up your feet, into your legs, up your body and into your heart center. And just allow yourself to settle into your heart center with this energy, the energy of the earth. Feel the love that the earth has for you. And allow that love to fill your heart. And now move your awareness to your crown. And allow a wave of divine cosmic energy to move through your crown. And down your body and into your heart. And allow yourself to feel the love of the divine, as it blends with the energy of the earth. And feel your heart open and expand. And as it does, a path emerges before you. And you allow yourself to begin to follow this path. And the path leads you to a door. Just become aware of the door. It is a door that opens to your inner world. You open the door and you step forward. And you move into a beautiful space in nature. You can feel the peace and the calmness of this beautiful space. You step deeper in. Allowing yourself to connect to the plants and the trees, to the animals, the beings that live in this space. And in the distance, you can hear the sound of water. And you allow yourself to move towards that sound. You can here you come to either a river or a lake or the ocean. And you look out across the ocean, across the waters, the lake or the river. Everything is still and peaceful and calm. And you allow yourself to step into this water. And you can feel as it washes over your feet and your ankles and your calves as you move deeper and deeper in. And when you are ready, you allow yourself to move into the water completely. Feeling the water washing over your hair and your face. allowing the water to cleanse, to clear, and to wash away all the negative feelings, emotions, energies that you've been carrying. You allow yourself to gently float in the water, allowing it to cleanse and clear you. You become calmer and calmer, allowing a deep sense of peace to move throughout your entire body and being. And when you're ready, you make your way out of the water. Thanking the water for its cleansing power. You step back onto the shore and you allow the warmth of the sun to dry you. And the light of the sun to fill you. And you feel your entire body and being shifting and lightening. And then when you're ready, you make your way through this beautiful space back to the door. And feeling relaxed and calm and peaceful, you open the door. And move yourself back into this time and into this space. Taking a couple of deep breaths. Breathing yourself back into your body. Feeling your fingers and your toes. And opening your eyes when you're ready. Well, I hope that's helped to alleviate some of the heaviness and the denseness of what's been going on. I certainly am feeling a little bit lighter myself after that. Good. Yeah, and I mean that, you know, that is a practice, that a meditation practice that you can do and adapt as you need to, or as you want to, and use it during these times. Yeah, that inner world is a space where you can connect to yourself and you can connect to your own soul, yeah, try and get the wisdom and the guidance that you need. Create that sacred space inside of you. Certainly helps the chaos of the rest of the world to kind of dissipate. So thank you all. There will be a recording of this, which I will send to everyone, and it'll be available probably on YouTube or the website. So thank you all for joining me. Good.
Thank you. That was amazing.
Thanks, Anita. Thanks, Charles. Good. All right. Thank you all, and I'll hopefully see and speak to you soon.